So we're at it again. We are going to be ranking the future value sources videos I have made for about almost 2 years. So you may be wondering, what happened to the future value sources of videos? It had evolved pretty well over the years, but I'm getting less popular now since future value sources videos are just getting less popular over the years. So today I'm going to be making a tier list on every single future value source system video I have made. And also, I am not going to be stopping making the future value source system videos. I am continuing to make them. So that means that there will be one probably next week. I don't think I'll be making one today because I only make a video per day. So no, there will be no future value source video this week. Next week we will have a future value source video. So keep in mind, we are going to be making more and more, much more frequently than what we used to. So yeah. So anyways, there is at least one video that I made that actually not featured in the list. I'll explain why when I get to it. So yeah, I'm going to be ranking them based on when it was released. So that means we are going to start with the future value source system first. Future value source system, the first version, was a very basic video. Basically, it's just, a basic future value source system video, self-explanatory. Basically, this video did not include any music except for the ending music, and basically it was the most popular YouTube video I've ever made with over 30,000 views. So thank you all for helping me reach that much. So yeah, without this video, I would not be as popular as I was today. So this is definitely in S tier. This has to be one of my favorite future value source videos I've made. And I just love the storyline and the timeline of this video. I just appreciate this video. I just like it. It's really good. Future value source system better version. Unfortunately, I cannot feature this video because it's copyrighted. So we're going to move on to the next one. Future value source system, the even better version, which is not true. This was also the first future value source system video to actually include realistic planets and dwarf planets, which I think is pretty cool. Now, a fellow solar system YouTuber named Colin Mapping did reply with this, thinking it was worse. And he wasn't wrong. It was actually kind of bad. The quality was awkward, but I'm pretty okay with this video. I'm not saying it's the worst, so I'm gonna rate this at D. I mean, the only reason why I rate it at D is because the storyline of this video is not too much, and basically, it has really terrible quality. It is the worst video in terms of quality. Every other video I made is 1080p, but this one is not. Future value source system, much better version. And this one is very different from the even better version. Unlike the even better version, this one has higher quality, but it's 4:3 instead of 16:9. It is unknown why it was 4:3. I think it's because the limitation of the aspect ratio just made me do 4:3. I did not do this on my old tablet. I did it in a blue tablet I used to have. I don't use it anymore. It is now decoration, so yeah. This did have a good timeline, and basically it had a pretty good description on what happened in the future. It may not be true, though. This was probably in A tier. I liked the video. It was really good, and I just like it. So now we're going to be moving on to the remakes. The remakes are basically just the 4 that were made. Basically, they have the same timeline as the others, except they're limited to a few seconds, and pretty much they're much more realistic, comparable to most realistic version. And some of them are the same, others are not. So let's start with future value source system first as a remake. This was the first ever remake I made for a future value source system video. Basically, it's future value source system first in a nutshell. So basically, it's a lot more realistic, a little longer because of the amount of seconds per storyline, quote, and it is really good. I would say this is an A tier as well. I mean, it's not as good when it comes to the actual storyline, but it's really good. I like it. It's really good. Future source system, better version. I am not really a big fan of this one, so I would go ahead and rate it C. This is probably your only way to figure out what actually happened in the better version, the original, which got copyright claimed. So yeah, feel free to watch this one in the description. Future source system, even better version. It is pretty much the even better version of the original, with the only exception being that the quality is a lot better and more realistic. And basically, it's just an A tier. I like it, I'm a pretty good fan of it. You should watch it. Future source system, much better version as a remake. This time, it's not 4x3, it's 16x9, which is very good. But again, it's not that great. It's C tier because the storyline wasn't that impressive and it's not too realistic. Future source system, even more realistic edition. This was the first realistic feature source system video in 2020. A lot of people finally returned to watching my YouTube content because of this video. That means I grew so much more popular because of this video. This was actually an S tier, but because of the not very basic stuff, I would say this is probably a tier. But again, due to popularity, I'm going to rate it as an S tier. The storyline is very good. It's similar to the much better version original, and I'm a pretty big fan of this one. So yeah. Future solar system, The Return. This was the final solar system video that was related to the future solar system. I didn't say anything about it, but basically this is the last one. Probably. I might be making more in the future, but for now, this is probably the last one. This was the final feature source video of 2020, and was released sometime in August of 2020, so yeah. This one was released in February 2020. This one was released in August of 2020. So it's about 6 months apart, so that's pretty good. It wasn't as good as the even better version, but it was a lot more detailed, so it was probably an A tier. Future source system, realistic version. This one wasn't bad either. It was the longest future source system video ever created. But the storyline wasn't that great, and it wasn't too bad either. It was mostly related to my YouTube channel, so this one's actually an F tier. I would not recommend watching this because it's basically on my YouTube channel. Yeah, I even saved my death in 22nd century, which I don't think is true. Maybe, but who knows. So there you go. That is my, predictions and my tier list for the future source videos I've made. Except for a future source better version. If I did rank it, it would probably be a C tier, but I did not because of copyright claim. So if you enjoyed, leave a like and subscribe and hit the bell icon. And as always, my name is Vince, and I'll see you guys next time.